Cause cause I made like a few skate videos with friends, like cause all of my friends, like we had like a big like crew. This is like high school too. It's like big crew of like friends that would all skate. Like a few of us filmed, some of us like more seriously than others, and like my friends had like made like a few like big videos, and then after that they were kind of like tired of it, but like some of us still like just like have fun when we go out, just like film and skate, and then after you compile a bunch of stuff, just make it into like a video. And so it was like really chill. And then I do any like actual work until I had like this internship in college that just like it just fell in my lap. So my friend Wes, we were roommates at the time, and he wasn't able to make it to like one gig. I think he was like busy with classes or he was sick or something. So he just threw it to me. And then I got signed on with him in this internship doing like their social media, making stuff like that. And our boss, he lived out here, and my parents lived out here at the time. And it's just like it all like worked out, kind of fell into place for me to like move out here.
And it all started with the skateboard.
Basically, yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Milk Room, the podcast.
Welcome.
It's me, Greg, your host today. Today I have a special guest with me. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Watson. I'm out here in LA, do photo, video, a lot of work, all over the place really. Like I just like making stuff and everything.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
and then made the trek out west. How long have you been in LA for?
Since 2021. So like right like in the middle of the pandemic, I moved out here, and just been going at it since. Like meeting a lot of great people. Like a lot of more opportunities have come moving here than I like would have ever imagined. Just by like being here, things have just like fallen in my lap so much. And had so many great opportunities.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what type of content or what type of stories do you enjoy telling?
I enjoy telling. It's just like whatever comes to me. Like I do a lot of just like shooting on my own. Like obviously I do the whole Instagram thing. Like post my photos on Instagram, and that's just like things I see when I'm like walking around. I'll just like shoot what I see if it looks interesting to me in some way. I like getting with people, hearing like their other ideas, and like visualizing other stories and things like that. And it's always just like anything that is something of interest to me. Like I do stuff with like music, do some fashion stuff, try to do stuff with like automotive, things like that.
Well, the music stuff. Yeah. Let's go to the music stuff.
That's what I've like mostly been doing, which I never expected. Like it just like happened because I started out doing like social medias for this nonprofit, and just through like connections, people I've met, I fell into working in the music realm. And you know, LA is one of the major cities for entertainment, so there's so many musicians here, so many people I've met, and it's just like, that's like what's really like stacked on itself like over and over again. It's just like there's always something to be done, music videos or like recordings, auditions, things like that.
That must be cool, because then like both of you get to be a part of each other's story, right?
Yeah.
So like I had this one friend of mine who quit his job, became a full-time photographer at a nightclub. A DJ was there and was like, I need to bring you on tour with me. The DJ was Deadmau5, and like that first tour changed both of their lives forever. Yeah. And like he was able to document that journey for the artist. So with music videos and with like you working with independent artists, there's like that collaboration that takes place between two artists, right?
I think that's what I like most. It's like what I like getting at is like when you're able to just like bring two people's ideas or you know multiple people's ideas, and everything just like kind of like combines into one thing. It's really cool just like see how people's influences on each other create like one solid idea, creative outlet or something.
That's cool. So who are some people that you've worked with?
A lot of my friends, like my friend Riley, he has this band Tommy, friends Riley and Pam, and I've done like a lot with them. They're like probably who I've done the most, and it's been a lot of fun with them because like they've like in the last few years have really just like started going up and up, and their fan base is just like just keeps on growing. So it's really been fun to like be a part of that in a way of just like helping have fun with them and like make new stuff. And then in turn like they've gone on like multiple tours in the last couple of years, and it's cool seeing that change. It was just like someone's like smaller, starting to get big. I've done some stuff with like the Gibson Guitar YouTube channel. It's like a lot of artists through that, a lot of different series, and that's all mostly like documentary work. There's been a few like music video style aspect things thrown in. And I kind of like mixing that too, because like that's where I came from, was doing like documentary and like testimonial videos, and then just mixing that into a more with like creativity with like music, you know, that it's taking something that's like done a lot and mundane, and mixing with something that a lot of people want to know about, is like different artists' stories, history. They do like a lot of stuff with what else do they do? Because some of them I'm not a part of. Like the ones I'm a part of, those a lot of like the music and just like history type stuff. They do some like detailed work on like how they make things, but they go out to the factories and stuff like that. I've stayed mostly in LA for the things they do here.
So you've been active while you're out here, man. It sounds to me
yeah.
like you showed up and during like middle of COVID, right?
Yeah.
And just hit the ground running. Like at a time where most people are like, I'm gonna chill. You were like, no, I'm gonna go out west. I'm gonna start meeting people. I'm gonna start bringing people value. I'm gonna start working with artists and brands. Like, it's really happening for you.
Yeah, I mean, totally. It's just like, I think the timing made sense when I did it, because it was just like a kind of a now or never type moment. I was just kind of like being more idle than I would have liked, and I knew like moving somewhere like LA or New York or like a bigger city would be like where the opportunities happen, where I can like really like make things start happening for myself. And it just happened. LA just happened to be the one that was the most opportunity for me at the time. And
what do you wish you would have known before you showed up?
Oh man, what do I wish I had known about LA? Maybe just like how to navigate it, because you know, to me, like just the West, I consider like a whole different country. It's like a whole different way of living. The way people are, and it's getting those social aspects, I think, is like the one thing that like I really like have like picked up on new things, like new ways of communicating with people.
What freeway did you jump on to get here?
I'm sorry?
What freeway did you jump on to get here?
What was I on? Well, I made a road trip out of it, like moving out here, because like I knew I was like, okay, big move.
No, coming to Milk Room today.
Oh, in Milk Room, I was on the 101. And it was,
see, LA's getting to you, bro. So we'll see.
Same for the highway.
Right. There we go. It's working, LA.
Yep. And like even when I go like back to Memphis, go home, like the main highways there is I-40, and then they have like the 240 loop, which I guess it would be called the 240 loop is what people say, because it goes around the entire city, but no one says the. It's just like it's I-40 or 240.
It's an LA thing, right? We have to add the to everything. So
that makes sense.
So that's like my indicator when somebody's been here, like not long enough. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, they're not here long enough. It's like I don't even know what highway I'm on. I'm just on my GPS.
Right. And it's like the amount of hours logged on any given freeway.
Yeah.
People love to drive, especially by themselves here now.
Oh yeah, I love to drive. Yeah. And like.
Well, if you notice, a lot of people in this city, you're on the freeway, it's bumper to bumper, everyone's by themselves. Yeah. No one carpools in the city.
Which is wild to me. Like, I've thought about that, and it's like, we could really bump up the train system maybe with that.
No one's jumping on it. I know, no one is. There's a movie called Swingers, and it's about like a group of friends in LA, and they're all going, it's like 5 of them, and they're all going to the same party, and they all get into 5 different cars. Yeah.
But that's how it is. It's like everyone wants to have their own like space and their own vehicle, and I get it. But traffic is crazy, and you know, if you could just compact it a little bit, it'd be nice for everybody.
So, what are some of your favorite restaurants out here?
Oh man,
where are you eating these days?
A few places. I found there's this place in. I guess it'd be like Silver Lake, kind of. It's just called India's Restaurant, right? Like right off Virgil. I really like that. They have a really nice buffet. I go there a lot. What else? What is it? There's a place downtown. Let me look it up. It's this Hawaiian like Korean barbecue spot. What is it called? I know I follow him on Instagram. I like them a lot because like the dude that runs it is just I've gone there enough where he just recognizes me and he always hooks it up.
That's love.
So I try to hit him up as much as possible. I cannot remember. Oh, it's called Broken Mouth. That's what it is, Broken Mouth. I'm actually the restaurant because I got this hat. This was my favorite restaurant in Memphis called Faux Ben, but they unfortunately closed on Christmas. I think they just like went through. I think maybe just COVID kind of like killed them, and they just held on for as long as possible. Which makes me really sad because I'll never be able to have it again, and I have yet to find tofu. They do a really good fried tofu, and the way they do it, haven't found another place that replicates it. But those are probably like the two restaurants I think that stick out to me the most is India's restaurant and then Broken Mouth downtown. For if I just like don't know what I want or if I just have like a free day, I go there. I find myself going there a lot.
Nice. So yeah, I'm out in that part of town quite a bit, so I could definitely check out.
You should.
Both spots. So, what's something that surprised you about LA when you got here? Like,
what was I surprised by? So like before I moved out here, my parents had lived here a few years. They moved like right after I got out of high school. They came out here, but I stayed in Memphis because I was in school and I was like kind of just like set. So I'd been here a few times, so I wasn't like surprised by anything, but it's a lot different living than visiting. Obviously, I didn't have a car when I visited, so it'd be a lot more walking around, taking public transportation. So I got used to that, and then after moving here, just nothing but driving.
Right.
So I think, they always say traffic, and like I was expecting it, and it's really like, it's not that bad. But
for me, it's the neighborhoods that don't have parking.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
This
buddy of mine invited me to his house for dinner one night, and there was nowhere to park. It was all permitted parking, and like I had to like park in another neighborhood and take an Uber to his place, and I was like, wow.
No, so that's probably definitely it for me is like the accounting for time. Like I always add like an extra like 30 minutes to any time I have to do anything. So I'm just like, traffic could change by the time I look at this map and get on the road and having to find parking. Like I find myself like pulling up to like see friends play at a bar or something and just like completely missing their set because I couldn't park.
Right.
And then I just like, I honestly just got sick of it. I was like, by the time I would have found parking, they would have either been done or coming to an end, and I'm already tired by that point. I'm close enough to home that I'm just going back.
Right.
It's not a big deal, but
it's LA for you. So what type of people are you trying to connect with?
I don't know. I get along like with a lot of different people, like because I found myself in music, and like my genre taste in music blends so much from like dance music to country to like metal to rap, a lot of different stuff. So like I found myself like if I can just connect with someone on something, I'm usually good to go. And I don't have like a specific type of person, I guess, that I'm hanging out with. It's just someone that kind of like shares the same ideas. A lot of times where it's people that you can just like bounce ideas off of. That's why I like find myself like keep coming back to is like, I don't know, like there's so many people, like
because everyone has a story to tell here in LA, right? Like here in LA, you're either running a brand, you work for a brand, or you're a content creator of some sort, right?
Yeah.
And that includes musicians and artists, like they're in the business of creating content. So this is an opportunity for people like you to show up and help people tell their story, right?
Oh, for sure. And that's like I've been trying to branch into that more because like I got like after coming out here, like I got pretty comfortable with like what I had going on, and then it's just thinking about like I've done like a few portrait sessions, and then coming out here is like I started taking pictures more of people. I found myself liking to do that, and I think that kind of comes with its own like way of going about it. I don't know. I just like meeting like genuine people. It's like if you just want to work together, I just want to know type stuff, like things like that. It's like I like knowing what I'm getting into when I meet someone. It's like, are we just like hanging out for fun, or you just like wanting to like get something done and move on? I'm fine with either. Like,
right. As long as they make it clear from the beginning,
yeah.
right? And sometimes you'll have friends that need to get shit done.
Yeah,
which is fun too.
And I found both. It's like I found like where like I'm just hanging out with people just because like I like hanging out with them, and then we end up doing stuff. And then there's people like we just got together to make something. And we ended up like kicking it off really well, and you just make more friends that way.
I love it. So how can people get a hold of you on Instagram? Is that a cool place to DM if they want to work?
Probably where I'm like most active with communication and stuff. It's
I'll include your link in the description.
Okay.
And then that way, if somebody wants to help get their story told, right? Because sometimes as creatives, we get so caught up in the process of like our project that we forget that like, wait, I need visuals, I need video.
Yeah.
Or like if I'm gonna promote a single, like what does the picture of the band look like? And it can't be like mom's iPhone photo that she, it hits different.
Unless that's what you want. Unless you want it to look that way.
Right, and that's up to you to tell me that. As
sometimes, but like that's what I say is like why I like collaborating with people. Is like a lot of people will have like I have this idea, but I'm not sure like how it like should look based on like what I want to do. And it's like okay, I picked up a lot on like reading that is like I can take what you're saying and help work it into something that's an actual vision and a visualizer.
I love that. So if that's you, go ahead and tap in with him. Shoot him a DM. If you're here in LA, that'll be an awesome opportunity for you guys to link up, share with him like the story you're trying to get across, what you're trying to sell, what your objective is, and best case scenario, he ends up liking you guys hang out after the project, right?
Yeah. I mean, so Giovanni invited me on this, and like we met through Jason Rivera, who's another photographer in LA, and he does so much great work. And we like doing like a little intern workshop with him where we're just like learning more about the whole way of imaging online and stuff. And like, we talk every now and again, and it's been great. It's just like those random connections you make that just kind of like filter into new things. And it's just great, like meeting other people that have that same like passion to like bring ideas forward.
It's refreshing,
like
right?
Yeah.
When you're able to surround yourself with people
For
that,
sure.
Yeah. Well, it was awesome having you on our podcast today.
Pleasure
Thank you
to be
for
here.
sharing your story with us. And I look forward to you coming on here and talking about like those shitty music videos or the awesome music videos that you're helping people put out. Like
they're all highs and lows. One day you're editing something and it's shitty, and you come back 7 hours later, you're like, oh wait, it just needed this fix, and it makes everything better.
This friend of mine worked with this. He worked with Sheck West, and they made a video for him, and Sheck West didn't pay him.
Oh yeah.
And so they went and like used the video and added like ridiculous song like
because you hold on to those rights.
But that was a funny story on like the receiving end to hear, right? We're like, oh wow, so stuff like that does happen. Wow, like you wouldn't think.
I feel like it can get complicated easily, like if you're not as like deliberate with like your needs and what's going on. That's why people like make contracts and stuff like that. That's like the business side. It's so easy to get lost in the business side of things, and that's like I try not to do that too much because you still just want to enjoy what you're doing. But we'll be here. You got the runway show coming up. Plan on being here, help shooting that. Those have honestly been a few like the fun nights out here where like every time I come I meet more people, and sometimes it's like led to new projects, sometimes it hasn't, sometimes it's just
meeting people,
and it's like I keep those, like I think everyone I've met, like I keep them connected on like my social medias and stuff, and if I like seeing that they're being active, and I like you do those cold DMs where it's just like, hey, like, you got anything else going on you need help with, stuff like that. And every time I've come to a few of the runway shows out here, it's like I meet new people and you stay connected with them, and it's like the smallest big city is how I feel all the time when I'm in LA. It's like everybody is connected in some way if you get into a certain sphere, and so it's just good to like get out and like keep constantly meeting people, keeping that network growing.
Well, we appreciate you being a part of the fashion show coming up.
Oh yeah.
I look forward to sharing your content and just
I appreciate
keeping our community posted on who you are and what you do. So
totally.
Thanks again for being a guest.
Dude, thanks for having me.
Here you go, bro.
Awesome.
Boom. quick
How was
20
that?
minute episode.
Yeah, that's 20 minutes. I feel like I was just yapping.
Nah,